What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a disc review for you, and it's a disc review that I'm pretty excited for. We're gonna be talking about one of my favorite discs. It's a disc that has kind of changed my game lately. I'm gonna tell you why I like it. I'm gonna tell you why you should probably pick one up and try one out if you haven't already. And we're gonna actually throw every single plastic, well, like almost every single plastic, because Discraft was kind enough to send out a box of everything they had.
There's three keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all three to do this disc sport.
The disc that we're going to be talking about today is the Cicada. I got a Fly Dye Z, I got the Big Z, I got Titanium, I got regular Z. That's a Broadbird. We got ESP, we got Elite X, and we have Z Lite. So first things first, we're gonna give you a test flight, push hyzer, kind of see how the stability is. The question I wanna answer today is basically, is there an outlier for cicadas? Is one of them flippier than all the others? Is one of them more stable than all the others? Just so you guys and me can kind of have an idea of maybe which one to throw slash pick up. We'll start with the Z one. This one is gonna be a little bit beat in, unfortunately, so it's not fresh. We're on a 285-foot hole. The basket's right under those trees there. I'm not gonna be aiming for the basket because the Cicada for me is gonna be probably more of like a 330, 3 to 350 type disc. So we're gonna try and just push it basically past the tree, kind of to the right, and we'll see what happens. Beautiful little flight. We'll try and match that line as best as we can. We're gonna go Big Z Cicada here. All of these cicadas are max weight other than the Z Lite, obviously. Very, very similar. I'm anticipating this Z Fly Dye one to be the most stable just because it's the most domey. We'll see if that holds up. Obviously, I could have thrown it different, but that actually just went dead straight. I don't know. Titanium. This new TI plastic, I haven't felt any yet, and this stuff feels really nice. Actually, I'm surprised. I feel like old TI was a little slick for me, at least. Okay, so very, very straight. I feel like these last two I've kind of pulled up at the end of the throw a little bit more just to kind of pop them on that straight line. We'll try and match these ones a little better. ESP. See, that's kind of the flight I guess I'm going for. It's more of that pushy hyzer. Yeah, right about 300 feet, pretty much deep of the basket. We'll go Elite X, which I'm anticipating being the flippiest. I think that would have turned for the end of the flight if I'd have thrown it more than a foot off the ground. And then last but not least, the Z Lite. Discraft's Z Lite, in my opinion, is the best lightweight plastic out there. The discs fly so similar to the max weight counterpart, and the plastic feels really nice. I feel like it's the lightweight disc that you can get that's most similar to the max weight one. We'll see how this one flies. Expecting some glide. Honestly, pretty stable. Like, I wouldn't call it stable, but just very similar to the other ones. Man, we're gonna get out onto a different hole where I can open up on these a little bit more because I kind of want to see like the full flight potential and really kind of dial in that flip point. Let's talk a little bit about why I love the Cicada. You guys know I love the Buzz SS and the Cicada. I've said it so many times the last couple months, but it's just a 7-speed Buzz SS. It kind of does whatever you want it to do. It holds hyzer lines, holds ANI lines, flips up and goes straight. Fits my play style really well, but I also think for a lot of players, a lot of newer players will say, a lot of people like try out a T-Bird, try out a, whatever it is, 7-speed, which are all great options, but they're gonna be too overstable for a lot of players. That's the reality. That's kind of my idea behind the Buzz SS as well, is a lot of people like get a Buzz, but the flight they're really looking for is the Buzz SS. Before we head over to a longer hole and let these babies fly, let's take a look at the side profile. Now, obviously you can't see this very good, but they're all pretty much similar. It looks like this one is the most domey, and then maybe the Big Z also. Other than that, all the ones I have are flat, and I like the flat ones because I also think the Cicada is one of the better forehandable kind of flip up 7 speeds, and I just really like it. The hand feel on the Cicada I think is very neutral. It really does remind me of, you know, like when you hold a Buzz or a Buzz SS and it's just comfortable. The Cicada gives me that same feel. I do feel like if you looked at the measurements, it would maybe be a touch smaller than a lot of other 7 speeds. And I think that just adds to the hand feel for me at least. And now I know a lot of you are gonna be like, Brad, if you're looking for a stable slash overstable Cicada, just get a Cigara. I have one. We're gonna compare that as well. We'll give it a rip, kind of show you just the stability of the Cigara compared to the Cicada, because they do complement each other perfectly. That's obviously why this one was made. But something about the Cigara, I love throwing it. It flies great. But the specific run of Z they did for this, you know, the first run Cigaras, I have no grip on it. So I don't throw it. So we got a nice open bomber here. We're just gonna absolutely blitz on these things. We'll go with the Cigara first, just to kind of show you the stability, I guess. Haven't thrown this in a minute, but. So that's kind of my stock hyzer release, and I mean, that kind of, like, I got a noodle arm. It kind of beefed out on me, which is obviously how it's supposed to be. I think my favorite Cigara shot is that baby Annie that kind of just pans to flat the whole flight. But we'll let these Cicadas rip now, and you'll kind of see the difference. Yeah. See, but even on a nice little smack like that, that Z1 that I threw for a few months still has a touch of finish at the end. Honestly, that might be the most stable, is just kind of a flatter Z1. Yeah, so that Z Fly Dye one has some good glide and flip. We're 2 for 2 on nice shots. We'll see if we can throw all of them similar. Could have pulled on that one a little bit, but looks like the Big Z has some nice turn to it. We'll go TI next. You know, I'm actually like pretty happy with all the flights so far, and that there doesn't actually seem to be much of an outlier. They're all very similar, and you can maybe just pick and choose your plastic, which is always great. We'll go with the ESP. I feel like the ESP compared to stock Z is a little bit flippier. Oh, I threw that horrible, guys. You'll never know if it's flippier now. I made it look like a Cigara. Elite X. So that one's obviously gonna beat up the fastest, being a lower quality plastic, but honestly, no difference in stability. Last but not least, Z Light. Oh, that thing flies. Okay, there's the turn. That thing gets up and goes. I like it. So as much as there's gonna be slight differences in stability based on my throws so far, I don't think there's a big enough difference to kind of like sway you one way. I think you can probably pick whatever plastic you prefer. Obviously, I had a few of them turn a little bit more. That could be thrower error. Z stock might be like a little bit more stability than the others, especially because the Z1 I'm throwing, I threw for, you know, like I said, a couple months, so it definitely smacked some trees and still seems to be holding up. We're gonna throw some forehands with these now. See if I can dial in some flip up, guys, because I also think that is a spot where this disc can really shine as well. That is not a bad little spread throwing from back there. Try to line you guys up at like a nice angle so you can kind of see the swing of the disc. We'll do our best. My forehand has not been super crispy lately, but we're dialing it in. And I think if I can throw some good shots with these cicadas, it'll help me dial it in a little bit more. We're gonna go Sagara first, and this is the domiest. Sagara's much more domey than cicadas, and hopefully I can throw it good. Okay, so pretty good flight actually. I just didn't really give it much height. I'm gonna try and, I really wanna see how these push on a nice little hyzer push line. Oh, baby. Maybe I am dialed. Okay, I think I could actually push these a little further than this basket, but I'm gonna try and kind of nestle them up between that tree and the basket. Elite X. Okay, I might have my forehand back. Wow. These things are flying very smooth. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe not my best throw on the forehand so far, but I do think the TI is the flippiest one. I really do, because every time I've thrown it, it seems to drag a little bit further off than the rest of them. Also, quick tip, not that I'm in a spot to give forehand tips right now, but what has kind of dialed in my forehand again lately, at least to some degree, is slowing things down. I was going so fast with everything, and then I realized, like, Brad, you're not even letting the disc work. You're trying to force all your shots. You're not trusting the glide. You're not trusting the flight of the disc. So then I tried to kind of just slow it down, swing the arm through, and just let the disc work. And it's really helped me control some of these flippier discs lately. Yeah. Wow. This is the best my forehand has felt in months. Big Z. Oh yeah. Wow. I think I just unlocked a new skill. Forehanding cicadas. The Z fly die, definitely the most glide. Now I can't speak for all Z fly dies, but this thing has some good dome to it. Wow. I'm kind of dialed, guys. This is fun. All right, Z light. Wanted to really give it some air to work. Man, that's a beauty. I just think it's such a solid disc. I do think, like, if you're a lower arm speed player, it can be great for you. If you're a player trying to learn fairway driver angles, it can be great for you. I think this disc can be utilized for so many different arm speeds. And I think a lot of times a lot of the discs I enjoy fit that category. They're overall just really straight, and you can kind of just tell them what you want them to do. They don't have much of an opinion. And yeah, I'm super happy with this lineup of cicadas. I feel like very consistent mold overall. I know I've heard some people say that specific ones are like really flippy out of the box. I feel like I didn't get that with any of these, but we're gonna demonstrate one more flight before we head out. We're gonna do a nice turnover and just kind of see how they pan out at the end, because that's also a fantastic shot for this type of disc. If you wanna go get a Z cicada, that's all they got over at Power Grip USA, unfortunately, but you can use my codes. And if you want any other cicadas, find them where you go get discs, I guess. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Oh, I kind of burned it out.
Creator of Frisbee Club, motherfuckers.
The man, the myth.
And right here, I have a frisbee bag. It holds all my frisbees, the ones I like.